Well, greetings everyone, wherever you are, and welcome to Being Your Own CEO. This is a weekly success circle, especially for solopreneurs. We get together because we really enjoy each other's company. We like exchanging ideas and information, and we do lots of experimentation here. We all give and receive support. And I think you would like to know something about our approach by reviewing the operating principles, which you will find on the website page. My name is Lola Ann, and I've been in business for a long time now, since about 96, I think, helping people get where they want to go. So now the next thing on the agenda is that our viewers will want to know who is in the room with us. So usually what I do is just try to go in the order in which people arrived. So in that case, that means that you're it, Tim.
So much for itchy trigger finger, huh? Hi, I'm Tim Longwell. I own Longwell Art. I'm an artist that my goals are to help people regain happiness and contentment through the use of a trait that most people think they don't have, and that is creativity. And you can find me at longwellart.com and on YouTube.
Aha. Really looking forward to some of those things that you're going to be doing there, Tim. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Who was next? Bill, I think you were next.
Hi, my name is Bill Graham. I'm here to do comment managing today. So yeah, leave your comments, ask your questions, and let us know where you're coming from and why you're here.
Right. Boy, Bill is having some, he's in the middle of doing some experimentation right now. So his transmission is pretty choppy this morning because of it. So thanks for your contribution nonetheless, Bill. We really appreciate your being here. Let's see who was next. Roland, I believe you were next.
Hi, good morning, everybody. Roland from MinMax Media, sponsor of the DIYLivestreamingshow.com website and the Saturday Morning Marketing Smarties Show. Glad to be here. Thank you very much.
Right on. And I understand Roland has been having a weekend of utter and total experimentation, haven't you, Roland?
Yes, I have. Yes.
Okay, let's see. Fred, I think you were next. Are you able to unmute yourself, Fred?
Oh, yes, I am, but I didn't hear you my name, so that's why I was waiting. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm Fred Jones. I work with Our Future Leaders. It's a cutting-edge online group coaching program for young people. I think the tagline that I like is empowered child system when they enter adulthood. And I'm located in Victoria, BC, Canada.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if that happened for everyone else, but your tagline got cut out. So if you would like to give it again, so it would be sure to hear it.
Tagline would be empowered child.
Ah.
Leader. Okay.
I think that the Google gremlins are getting us, Fred, where your comment was cutting out. So let's see. I think Heidi might have been the next person who arrived.
Yeah, I'm Heidi. I'm in Italy, and I'm doing the wisdomfactory.net shows where we interview and have conversations with people presently mainly about aging, but we have also other topics about how to co-create a better world. So, and I'm in Italy. I think I said that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, you're back from Germany.
Yes, I'm back from Berlin. It was a very impressive weekend, and I have already written a blog post. I will publish it soon.
I saw some of your pictures on Instagram. They were great. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're back.
Yeah, me too.
Alana.
Afternoon, everyone. My name is Alana. I am hailing from Ireland, and my blog is emptynesterblog.com, where I help empty nesters make money online. Happy to be here.
Oh, right on. And your visual is way better. I don't know what you did, but
I just adjusted my laptop. I just turned it around a little.
Oh, well, that's a vast improvement. Perfect.
Thank you.
Now, Jay, I know, Susan, you were here before Jay, I think, but I purposely left you to the last for a good reason. I guess you probably have guessed that. So, Jay, how about you?
Oh, I want to go last.
Too bad.
Oh, all right. Hello, my name is Jay. My company is Magi Studios, and we help people get started in the world of online marketing through coach, consulting, and training. Hailing from Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. Back to you, Lowland.
All right, on. And I saw that wonderful number on your Instagram post. I mention it so everybody will get curious now and go look at it.
Yeah, my client was quite happy with that as well.
I'm sure. Oh, dear. So, last but not least is our special guest this morning. And Susan, you have been here before, several times, I think.
I have. I was attending pretty regularly for a while, but I've been really busy and traveling a lot for the last couple of months. So
yeah. Well, and I know that you had published a book because I saw the picture in Facebook of you holding the book up, etc.
Yes, that's my proof copy. It hasn't gone to press yet, but very soon.
So tell us a little bit about what you've been doing lately, just so as a warm up for what we're going to do this morning.
Okay. Well, I have a full-time job still in which I do software training videos for a large nonprofit. It keeps me busy during the day. And I am also doing some online business as well. I started out doing presentations, consulting with people about making better PowerPoint presentations, expanded from there into offering video services, and that's more what I focus on now, although I'm certainly available still to help people with presentations. And did one last year, a keynote for one of my clients. I got really excited this past year about working with video on Facebook, not just on YouTube. And I started thinking about how to take advantage of some of the features on Facebook, especially the autoplay. So that's what I'll be talking about a little bit today, about some templates that I've created to help with that. But in the meantime, I have this book that I had started working on 4 years ago and then set aside, and it's finished. I've got my proof copy. I'm just making final edits. So I'm expecting to get it up on Amazon probably either late June or early July. It's called Get Your Message into Their Brains. And it's about neuromarketing secrets, specifically written from the perspective for content marketers, about how to create your content in a way that is going to make it easier for people to absorb it, to be interested in it, especially how to really get the message that you're trying to get across. It's especially aimed at people who have something unique to share, and maybe people kind of look at it and it's like, I'm not sure I'm interested. I don't know what that's about, you know? So how can you get that across more easily?
Boy, that will be of interest to every single one of us in this group.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Well, I'll just give you a quick preview. It's based on 4 principles that are neuromarketing based. I call it my RSVP method. The R is for refining your message, so it's very clear and concise. The S is for storytelling. V is for visual images and video. It's not just images, but visual content. And the P is for persuasion and decision making. And it's really, the whole book is focused on how to help people make a decision to choose to work with you.
Wow. Well, so it's not up on Amazon as yet.
It's not yet. No.
It's a little bit premature to be asking for a link to that.
Yes. But I will certainly be back to share that.
Oh, I'm sure that would be, and maybe we could, once you've got it published and up there, maybe we could do a session on it and sort of go over some of that. I'm sure everybody in the room here would be very interested. If so, nod your head.
Yes. Good. I see hands going up and heads nodding. That's good.
Right.
Right. Well, I had expected to have the book finished earlier this spring. So now I'm in the situation of trying to deal with finishing that and get my templates going, which isn't ideal while I'm working full time.
And you've been traveling. You were at a couple of big conferences, I think, as well.
Went to a couple of conferences related to my business stuff. And then I also did one just purely relaxation pleasure trip to a retreat with my spiritual community. And one trip was for my Red Cross work, which was also very interesting. But yeah, it was too much travel in too short a time. I have to remember not to do that again.
So just for everybody to know, Susan is in Chicago.
Yes, I am in Chicago, where mercifully the weather is nice the last 2 days after about a week of 90 degrees and very high humidity. So,
oh dear. Yeah.
Mid-90s even.
When I think of Chicago, I don't know where I got this, but I remember hearing somebody saying, Chicago.
Probably somebody who lives in Chicago. Yeah. Yeah, we have some strange accents around here.
Well, let me just say that we have lots of really strange ones in Canada too.
Oh yes, I know all about that.
So you were you mentioned earlier that you got interested in. Oh well, first of all, I really need to go back for a second and just let you know that I didn't use your title for today's session.
Oh, okay.
I really needed to shorten it down for a very technical reason. So
I understand.
So it was Facebook videos versus YouTube.
Oh, that works.
Yeah, but do you want to say what you suggested?
Yeah, when Lolan asked me for a title, I said, "How about how to win the war of?" What did I say? How to win the war of Facebook videos versus? I can't remember
YouTube.
Now. Oh, how to win how to win at Facebook's video war with YouTube. I think that's what I said. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I had never used before, but I kind of like it. I think I'm going to probably use that for my own webinar when I do it in another week or so.
So what made you decide to that you liked that this whole thing about a war between Facebook and YouTube? What brought that up for you?
Well, it's clearly happening. I mean, I don't know how many of you are Facebook users as opposed to other platforms, but it's probably the platform I use the most. It's where I have the most followers and the most engagement. So I started noticing that if you post a YouTube link to a video, that used to be fine on Facebook, and they still will let you do that, but it doesn't get hardly any attention. They don't show it to very many people. Their algorithm now, really limits who sees your posts. It's not just everybody that follows you sees it. That's not the case.
Right.
And they just really, they don't care about whether anybody sees a YouTube video or not. They started giving what they call native videos that are posted directly on Facebook much more reach. That was true a couple years ago already. And then they gradually started making other changes that enticed me and other people to do that. For a while, this has gone away now, but for a while, if you posted a video on your Facebook page, you had the ability to add a call to action button at the end of the video, and you could link it to a web page or to another video. There were several options. That lasted for about a year, I think, and then they took that away sometime last year. So things are continually changing there, just as they are in YouTube and Google. But a couple of advantages that I found there, besides just getting good reach for the posts, the autoplay feature, which at first drove me crazy. I hated seeing that in my news feed. But then I started thinking, okay, it's obviously here to stay. So how can I take advantage of that as a marketer?
Mm-hmm.
Especially for content marketing, I want to get people's attention. There's so many messages in most people's news feed that they're just scrolling, and what does it take to stop somebody's scrolling so that they actually look at your message? Well, the research was showing engaging images help, but what made sense to me from having written my book about the neuroscience concepts is that motion grabs attention much more than just a static image.
Okay, so I just wonder if we could stop there for a minute, because there's a couple of questions, a couple of ideas that have popped up for me and possibly for others in the group here. So the first thing that I wonder, I mean, I've been aware that you can't just post something out a YouTube link in there. So what I've been doing,
you still can. It just doesn't get shown.
It just doesn't get any reach. Yeah. But so what I've tried to do is put the link to the VCP page on my website.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that would make any difference?
Possibly. I don't know for sure, but I mean, I think it might get more reach than a YouTube link. It still isn't going to get as much reach as if you upload the video directly to Facebook.
Jay, did you want to comment there? I saw you waving.
Yeah, thank you. I think if you do this, like what you suggested, embed the video on a page and then share the page, could be done strategically if the social media image that is shared when you post that link in Facebook is perhaps a screenshot of the YouTube video with the play button that might entice people to click on it. Then, it obviously takes them away from Facebook and will take them to that page. And then on that page, you can just set the YouTube video to autoplay upon someone landing on it. So, I mean, with a little bit of creative thinking, I think anything can really be done in that aspect. Yeah, obviously people have to create that extra step of clicking on it versus, you know, uploading the video. But I mean, I've certainly talked about this before, and it's, you know, running your business off of leased land. You know, you want to try to get people to your land versus, you know, pitching your marketing tent somewhere else on someone else's lawn, right? So.
Yeah, those are good points, Jay. And I think that is a good workaround if you're trying to share a video that lives somewhere else. But what I started doing, you know, I have a regular hangout show twice a month on YouTube. What I started doing is creating a short clip from that video, from the recording of the show, taking that clip, posting it directly to Facebook with a link in the description to take them to the full video. And that gets much better reach than even, you know, doing what Jay is suggesting, which is an improvement. But somehow that, I think two things happen when you post it directly on Facebook. One is Facebook gives it more reach. And secondly, it gets more attention from people because of the autoplay. They're going to see it moving in their newsfeed. And that just grabs the eye. You know, it's still no guarantee that they're going to actually click through and watch it if it's not something they're interested in. But it does catch our eye when we see something moving. It's very difficult to ignore that.
Okay, another question that arises for me, and I see that Bill has a comment, so we'll go there next. I've tried, I go to my group and I try creating an event and putting the link to my web page that has the video on it. Has anybody tried using events in that way? I get very little reach on Facebook anyway, so I'm curious to know if anybody else has tried that.
Well, and we lost your audio part of that. At least I did. So I didn't hear that whole, you did something in the group, but I didn't hear what it was.
I created an event and posted the link to my website page where the video is.
And did it as an event.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I haven't tried that. Has anybody else tried that?
No. Okay, so I read somewhere that events work the best from groups.
I think that's true.
Yeah.
I think if you have an active group, then almost any strategy is going to work better inside the group because you have an active group of people that are waiting to interact with what you're sharing.
Right on.
And Facebook's algorithm has no effect on who sees it.
That's what we need to know.
Yeah.
All right. Now,
but the problem is it's hard to get an active group going. So, you know, a lot of people have groups that are not very active, myself included.
So here is a comment. Who posted that? Bill. Thank you, Bill. If shared from your website using a Bitly, would that help? I wonder about that. Any suggestions on that? And I see Tim is waving. Go ahead, Tim.
I've used, I've got something in my website. I don't remember exactly whether it's in the theme or what it is, but it'll create those links like a Bitly link of my website instead of, so it's shortener, and I've used the Google shortener. I haven't had the opportunity to use Bitly, but what you find happens is the same when you are directing to a YouTube video. It still only gets that little square small thumbnail with the text beside it on Facebook.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what shortener you use. Can you do it? Yes. Does it have any better reach? I haven't noticed, but I do know that a lot of them are using that technique. I can agree with Susan about the groups. The bigger and more active groups, it doesn't really matter what you use to post it there. Then yeah, that as far as events go, I would imagine the event effectiveness would be depend on how many of your friends are really, as opposed to your group or page followers, would be
So how
interested
many?
in the material on the
Yeah.
event.
So it depends on the number of people that are active in your group. Okay.
Yeah.
But I had a question for Susan now.
Go ahead.
You mentioned about a short clip, and I've noticed that if you do a YouTube live, that you can go a longer space, but I've heard some rumors that YouTube doesn't maintain the storage of those videos very long before they just go away. Have you heard anything or know anything about that?
From the Hangouts, you mean?
No, from any video, even if you post it natively or go live on Facebook.
Oh, that Facebook doesn't keep it, or YouTube?
Yes.
Facebook don't keep it. You know, that's interesting. I have not heard that. I know when I post videos, I generally post them first to my Facebook page and then share them from there, and they stay on the page. So that's not an issue. But in terms of if you're posting it just as to your personal profile, that might be true. I don't know. I know it's hard to find them on your personal profile if they go back a ways. Whereas on your Facebook page, they have them organized into a video category, and it's much easier to find them.
Well, they're under a menu on the profile too. It's under the More menu. It's actually the first item under the More drop down on a personal profile.
Okay.
But what is that even what I've understand it, and I'm trying to get verification of this, is that even if you use Facebook to record the video, it still has a short lifespan, just like Instagram.
If you're talking about Facebook Live videos, then yes, that is true, definitely. That's not what I'm doing, though. I'm creating the video on my computer in PowerPoint or Camtasia or some other tool like that.
So they're keeping the short
uploading
clips,
the video.
but the live, they are deprecated.
You know, I haven't worked that much yet with Facebook Live, but that is my understanding, yes, that those are not going to have a very long lifespan. That's why it's important to download them and have them on your computer. And then if you want to reuse them or repost them, you can do it that way. Yeah, the whole live stream phenomenon on Facebook to me is very different than it is on YouTube and Hangouts, you know, because with Hangouts, the idea always was it would be added to your permanent record in your YouTube channel, you know, but on Facebook Live and now Instagram stories as well, it's like, no, it's just a way for you to put something out in the ether and it disappears within a day. You know, some of it is that fast, you know, if somebody doesn't happen to see it within that time period that it's active, oh, well, they lose. That just makes no sense to me. So.
Yeah. Okay. So, Susan, you said that you noticed, you started thinking about this Facebook video and you've been creating some templates for people to use. Can you say more about that?
I can. If you don't mind, I'll bring up a slide where I have
Please
some bullet
do.
points listed about it. Yep.
Yeah, right on.
I'm not going to show you the whole webinar, but we can start with some of the reasons why, some of the reasoning that I built into the templates. One is, like we've already talked about, taking advantage of the autoplay feature, which at this point is only on Facebook, but I have read that it's likely to get implemented soon on Instagram and also possibly on Twitter and YouTube. And I know YouTube, you have the possibility to turn it on, but it's not there by default. Facebook's research shows that 80% of video viewers never turn on the audio, which is another reason why the animation, the motion is really what catches people's attention. And even if they do stop scrolling and take a, stop and watch that video, the majority, by far the majority of people are not going to bother to click that button to turn the audio on. So what a lot of people are recommending is that you add captions at the bottom with an explanation of what the video is about. With the techniques, the templates that I've set up, the moving animated text is actually part of the video itself. So using quotes or tips and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Another statistic that kind of went into this for me is that more than 50% of active Facebook users only ever use it on their mobile device. That makes a difference for how much they're going to see on a video, right? It's a much smaller screen, especially if they're watching on their phone on their way to work, And if that wasn't enough, that the screen is small, they're not bothering to turn the phone sideways to watch the video in landscape. It says 98% of smartphone usage is done with the phone held vertically. Now, let me show you what that looks like when you take a widescreen video and you hold your phone vertically. You get a little over 11 square inches of space. If you're going to keep holding the phone vertically and it's still a widescreen video, that's what the size gets reduced to. In order to fit that wide size, like a normal YouTube video dimensions, it's only a little over 1 inch vertically in order to fit that on an average phone. That's not a very big video screen.
Susan, I have to admit that I watch a lot on my cell phone, but I always create, if I'm watching a video, I make it full screen and turn it sideways and watch it totally full screen. And you're saying that most people don't do that? That's
what I'm saying. The research says, Yep. And I'm with you, Lolan. I mean, my eyes are not young enough to watch a video in that little space. So
I wasn't about to say that was the reason.
If I'm watching a video, I will definitely turn my phone sideways.
Yeah.
Unless it's something that I mostly just want to hear what they're saying, and the video screen is kind of incidental, which for some videos that's true. But yeah. That fact, when I read that about people not turning the video sideways, that reinforced to me what I had already been doing, which was creating most of my Facebook posts in a square dimension as opposed to widescreen. Even though Facebook, in their help, they will tell you, and a lot of social media coaches will tell you, that the right size for a Facebook image post is landscape. But they do not show up well. That's been my experience. So I had already started making my quote graphics square instead of wide. So when I started doing the video, I did the same thing.
I read somewhere not very long ago, the same is true for anything you want to post on Instagram, that a square screen is your better bet.
Yep, Instagram definitely prefers square, and that's been true all along. Facebook still does not say that for theirs, and yet that's been my experience over and over. And even a couple of the really big names in Facebook, I don't know if any of you know who Kim Garst is or have followed her. I went to her event in Florida last month. She shares almost all of her stuff on Facebook in square format.
Kim
but she's Garst, one of the Garst, Garst.
Right on. Thank you.
But yes, if you create those videos or memes or whatever you're creating in square format, let me show you how much difference that makes.
Yeah. I've got you blue boxed, or white boxed.
Okay. Well, I had stopped sharing, so now let me get back into it here.
It used to be called blue box. It's now called white box.
Yeah, I remember when it was blue box. So here's compared to the background, which is the widescreen format. If you do a square, now 7.5 is a little small maybe. I generally try to do mine about 10 by 10. When you take that square and show it on a mobile phone held upright, look how much more of the screen space you get.
That.
Yep.
Hmm.
It makes a really big difference. So I know square is still kind of a new format for videos. My video camera definitely doesn't create square. Even on an iPhone, there's no, you can take square photos, but there's no option for taking square video. I'm guessing that's probably going to change soon, but it definitely seems to be the way things are going.
So if you were taking a video just from your camera, like from your webcam, and saving it, what would you use in order to change its aspect to square? What program or what feature would you use?
You know, that's a good question. I haven't really worked that much with that, but when I do it for myself, I usually end up doing it in PowerPoint, because Camtasia Studio, no, actually I have done it in Camtasia as well, but you have to do custom dimensions because Camtasia doesn't really have a square setup either. I see Tim's raising his hand. Maybe he knows something that I don't.
Go ahead, Tim.
The stronger editors, iMovie and Movie Maker, won't give you this option because they're not designed for it. Like Lola and I were talking about the DaVinci Resolve, which is compatible in power, and their target clients are actually Hollywood production studios. They and Adobe Premiere both, and I imagine Final Cut Pro and some of the others do as well. One of the options you have when you get ready to export the finished edited movie, one of the things you can do is determine and dictate the output frame size.
Yeah, and that's a feature that I'm actually surprised Camtasia just came out with a new version last year, and they did not include that. But I think maybe it just was too new for them to.
Camtasia has always been stronger on desktop broadcasting versus video editing too.
They have been that, but they added a lot of features for marketers to make it easy for them to do different. They had used to be more focused on the education market, I think, and now they've really realized that they're getting a lot of use from marketers too. So I would bet that that will be something they add in the future, but I haven't heard anything about it yet. The other thing you can do, Loan, is quite a lot of the video apps that are available on mobile devices do have more options, like Tim is describing, where you can output to different formats.
Right on. Thank you. So I white boxed you again.
Okay. All right. Well, unless you have more questions, how about if I show a couple of examples from my Facebook page? Oh, except, you know what? I don't think.
I hope you can't hear the leaf blower. I do have my windows closed, but there's a leaf blower going on outside. I have no control over it. I'm sorry.
That's okay. All right, so let's see here. It's been a while since I tried to share my, I don't know, Internet Explorer is not coming up. I think I have to go through Google Hangout probably to get to it, huh? I'm not seeing it come up as an application, so let me see if I can do it this way. All right, so I don't know if that's going to work or not. Can you see my Facebook page?
No, you need to share your screen.
Yeah, I thought I had, but So I've gotten so used to doing it now through XSplit. I've forgotten how to do it through here. All right, so let's see now. Well, you know what? I can do it this way instead. Let me just share PowerPoint instead. Oh, wait, that is sharing. All right, now what happens if I go over to my Facebook page?
There you go.
Okay. All right, so let's see. If I go over here, it should bring up my, I don't know what they call it, your primary video that you have a space to do that, just like you do on a YouTube channel.
Mhm.
This one has no audio, so but this is one of the slightly fancier ones that I've put together.
Mhm.
With a lot of stuff going on the screen just for attention. But they range from that kind of, you know, a little bit elaborate. This one's another one this one does have music, I believe, if I remember right. Yeah. I don't know whether you'll hear it or not, but.
No, we're not hearing it. So now this was done. This was done using a PowerPoint template, Susan?
That's correct. Yep.
Ah.
The templates are all set up so that you can replace the picture if you want. Although I have public domain pictures in there, so they are available for use as well.
Mhm.
But you can replace the picture, you can replace the text. The animation is built in, so you don't have to do anything with that.
Mhm.
And you can replace the text at the bottom with your tagline and website or whatever you want to put in there. And this is an older version that I have on my page, but I also added a little image in the bottom so that people can upload their logo as well. So let me show you just one of the simpler ones as well. Oops, I got out of my, there we go. Okay, so here's one example. So the text just slides in and slides back out. It's not a lot of motion in that one, but. Yeah, that's my Hangout video. That one wasn't mine. That was a Presenter Media GIF. Here's another one.
So as this is playing, I mean, what I'm hearing and observing is that what we post on Facebook needs to be really short.
Yep.
And active, and not and with some text and not necessarily any sound.
Right. Now what I do on some of mine, I do add the sound, like on this one, but it's really not necessary. I just do, the rule I've been using for my own posts is if it's like this is a combination of multiple slides together saved as one video, and it's about a minute long. So I have a whole bunch of music that I've subscribed to for years that are all 1 minute long. So I just add some music under that in case somebody wants to turn the sound on and watch the whole thing.
Right.
But the majority of the things that I post are just one slide that runs as an animation, and most of those are about 15 to 20 seconds.
Okay.
I find on my page they don't necessarily replay, but on the when I post them in my Facebook news feed, they will just keep looping and replaying.
Aha.
So if somebody stays on it, looking at it, it's going to, you know, you've probably noticed that with other videos too. It gets to the end, then it just starts over again.
Mm-hmm.
So even though it's only 15 or 20 seconds, they might watch it 2 or 3 times to read the quote, you know.
Right. So Susan, don't stop screen sharing, but Roland has a question.
Okay.
Yes, thank you. I wanted to clarify for anyone else who might have been wondering that your templates are all in PowerPoint, and
They are.
although they're in PowerPoint, that suggests we could also do something similar in Google Slides. But the additional question I had was, how much is what you generate as these short excerpts or video, and how much are actually transformed into animated GIFs? Because animated GIFs are almost as good as video and possibly more appropriate for what we're trying to do, get people's attention with a little bit of movement. So your recommendation in regards
That's
to
a great
that.
question. And I'll respond to both parts of that. I don't know enough about Google Slides to know whether they will work in there, but you certainly can try. I have one template that I'm giving away for free, so I'll share the link with you about how to get that.
Oh, good.
And if anybody gets that to work in Google Slides, please let me know, because I would like to know that. I do know I had someone in another group I'm in that was working with them in Keynote. I believe she got them to work. So there shouldn't be any problem there. But for Google Slides, I can't say for sure. But I would like to know that. So yeah, please do try it in there.
Well, and the person that will probably want to experiment with that is Bill. He's quite a Google Slides expert.
Yes, I know he is. So that would be great to get his feedback. And then the question in terms of GIFs, people are always saying to me that they think these are GIFs when they see them in my newsfeed. But there are 2 problems with GIFs. One is that Facebook, for instance, and other platforms too, don't necessarily play GIFs directly. The only way you can share a GIF on Facebook, as far as I know, unless this has changed, is you have to host the GIF somewhere else and then share a link to it in Facebook.
Ah.
So that's a little bit more work. You can certainly do it, but with video, you can upload it directly. You don't have to share it from somewhere else. The other thing is that the GIF technology, my understanding is that it's just not as high a quality. And I certainly have seen that even when I use the GIFs from Presenter Media, which are very well made, when I post them, they don't have as good a video quality as the videos. It's just not as clear. The image and the text are not as clear. So if anybody knows differently, I would love to hear.
Yeah. I see we have a question that Bill has up, so I'm going to unwhite box you just for a moment, Susan.
Yep, please do.
Yeah. So this is from Alana. The videos are archived on Facebook like they are on YouTube. So is that a question, Alana?
Sorry, that actually wasn't my question. That might have been posted by someone else. My question was, I think it's been answered. Are the presentations done in Google Slides or Microsoft PowerPoint? I'm not sure who asked that question. That's Heidi's question, I think.
Oh, okay. All right. So I think we answered that. So Heidi's question was, the videos are archived in Facebook like they are on YouTube. Is that a question or a fact? Can anybody answer?
Not me.
But I saw you scrolling down as where there were all the videos. I thought it was on Facebook, wasn't it?
Yes, but those are videos that I uploaded to my Facebook page. They're not Facebook Live broadcasts.
Okay, well, it's okay. But when you upload videos, they are there as if forever.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
On the Facebook page, that's true. I haven't noticed it on my profile, but Tim was saying that they should be there on the profile as well. So.
Okay, thank you.
Right on. So,
and I have another question. If you have them there on Facebook and then you download them and you post them also on YouTube, does this get complicated?
I don't
Tim
know.
is shaking his head no.
Yeah, I'm not aware of there being any problem with posting the same video on Facebook and on YouTube.
Okay, thank you.
Now,
and
I think Facebook has a way to download it. So
that question is in line with the war between YouTube and Facebook.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
And as far as I know, Google doesn't flag that for SEO purposes, that it's duplicate content, because it's on two different places. So my understanding when people talk about avoiding duplicate content, that's, that you take the same article and copy it and post it again. Tim, what's your opinion on that?
With the videos, one thing you have to remember is Facebook is not allowing Google to crawl it.
That's what I thought, but I just heard someone tell me recently that Facebook does, in fact, crawl posts on Facebook.
Yes.
I mean, that Google crawls posts on Facebook.
They're very limited on what they allow, though. The robot, it's basically a case of Google can go see who's there.
Okay.
It's pretty much what it is, and maybe a little bit about how active they are. But if you'll notice in search, you even very rarely even see a Facebook post listed in search, even if it's on topic and answers your query.
Right. And that's what I had thought, but someone else who's a pretty well-known expert just told me recently that wasn't true. Maybe he misunderstood the question or something.
They can go in there, but Facebook has them so throttled that it's the same as if they weren't there.
Yeah. Well,
as far as posting the videos on both Facebook and YouTube, that's not an issue either. In fact, if you're worried about it all, Zoom has a free version for, I think you can do 40 minutes, and it records it to your hard drive. You go live on Facebook, you get the video, put it on your profile so it's permanent there, and then post it over on YouTube. I know of people that are doing that every week, 2 and 3 times a week.
Yeah. Zoom is another.
And it's not giving them a problem on either place. So it is possible. There are ways to do it to make it simple for you as well. Yeah, go for it.
Good. Thank you.
All right. So we're getting close to the end, and I really want Susan to give Susan a chance to show the rest of what she wants to show here.
Oh, I guess, yeah. Maybe I'll just let me open up that other PowerPoint.
Yeah, I'm curious
to the actual
see how you would use the link between how you would use either a PowerPoint or a slide, and to be able to turn that into a video.
Oh, well, I can show you that. I mean, there are a couple steps involved, but let me show you. So this is the free one, and I actually thought I had it set up so it was attached to the welcome email, but it didn't work because the file was too big. So if I wanted to save this one that already has a quote on it, if I wanted to save that as a video, it's going to save the whole file as a video. So normally you would probably just make a separate PowerPoint file with just that slide in it.
Uh-huh.
The other way around it that I often do is to just hide the other slides. And you can do that by right-clicking, hide slide.
Are you sharing your screen?
Oh, I thought I was. Sorry.
You're working from one screen, I'm guessing.
Yes, I am. All right. Thanks for catching that. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I went to open the other file and then forgot that I wasn't sharing it. All right. So
now this is a PowerPoint, is it?
This is PowerPoint, yep. And this one has a quote already built into it. This is a sample of what I had done with it. And then this is the way I'm doing the ones, you know, for people to create their own, and just kind of tells you what to put in there. But if we wanted to save this one as a video, normally, like I said, it saves the whole file. So you can either get rid of these, you know, make a copy of the template and then get rid of the other slides, or you can hide them by right-clicking on them in the left column there.
Yeah.
So now the only slide that's active is this one. And then it's just a matter of saving it as a video.
You're kidding.
Depending on the version you have. Now, if you have version 2010, I think you need to export it to video. But for 2013 and 2016, you just go to save as. That's the folder I want it in. And then we're just going to change the file type to MP4.
Oh, it's that easy.
It's
Holy
that easy.
smokes.
And I'm not going to do it right now because it does take a little bit of power to do that.
Yes.
And, you know, it might take, for that simple video with only one slide, it might take 2 minutes or something to process it as a video. For longer ones, I've had it take, you know, 5 minutes or so to process it. But yep, it's pretty simple.
So, but when you said that those little videos, you want them to be 15 to 20 seconds.
Yep.
How, when you're saving as a video, how do you determine the length?
Oh, it's based on the animation that's built in. So as this is animating right now, when it gets to, it's going to add the text at the bottom. Well, first the author, and then it'll add my name and URL at the bottom. When it's finished running all the animation for that slide, that's the end of it.
I see. Okay.
So when it's saving it as a video, let me show you on the animation pane. Once it processes all of these animation steps, that's the end of it then.
Okay.
And in fact, then when it's posted as a video in Facebook, because of the autoplay, it's going to loop. There's a trick that I use sometimes at the end here, because the way this is right now, when it loops, it's going to just finish posting my URL here and immediately loop back to the beginning again. So sometimes I will add something to make it pause there at the end, and I don't have time to show you. That's a little more complicated, but it can be done.
I see Tim is waving. Go ahead, Tim.
Bill showed me one little trick, and I did some checking on it. Bill let me know when I was working on a slide presentation for myself that there is a feature in Google Slides, which is their version of PowerPoint, that allows you to save for the web and set it to how long a duration between each slide, in addition to setting your animation length. The other option you have is when you tell it to publish for web, even if you want to go back later and use it for someplace like putting it in Facebook, there has a couple little check boxes that you could probably set when you originally make it, or when you get ready to embed it and get the embed link. The check boxes allow you to actually set it to start the show as soon as the player loads and restart the slideshow after the last slide so that it throws in the looping.
Right. And those features are available in PowerPoint as well, but that really is for a slideshow as opposed to a video. And I know there's not a lot of difference when you're using it the way you're describing, where it's going to be a self-playing slideshow. It's going to run as if it's a video, and you can control how quickly it moves from one slide to the next. Yeah. So that option is available. That's a little different than what I'm doing with these, though.
I do know that in the slideshows that you can set it up to where it'll show different text
On the slides. Yeah.
On the slides to where it'll transition in a certain way.
Right.
On each of the slides.
Yeah,
So,
using
if you do a one photo slide with your text, that's basically what you're doing, and then tell it to do that looping and everything. Still the same principle as you've basically turned it into a video. Their export of it is just a little bit different is all.
Right. Yep. That's a good point. Well, then based on what you're describing from Google Slides, it sounds like it should have no problem using these. So that'll be fun to get some of you to try that in Google Slides. I don't know. Every time I've looked at it, to me, I feel like, well, I probably should learn how to use this because lots of people want to know how to do this without having to pay for PowerPoint, but
if you can use PowerPoint,
you
can use Google Slides.
I know, but it's like, it's like I've been driving a Mercedes and now you want me to test drive a Volkswagen or something, so. or even worse.
They were, but they're not anymore.
Yeah. Volkswagen's actually probably a pretty good car, but
no, I mean Google Slides and PowerPoint.
Yeah.
They're not as far apart as they used to be. They have come a long ways. Because I remember those days of Mercedes and pushcart issues between PowerPoint and Google Slides. They've come a long way.
Good.
So if you were saying that you've done this free template,
yes.
How can the members of the green room here and anyone watching, how can they access that? Because that's a real quick way for somebody to get started.
Try it out. Yep, definitely. I forgot to put that on a slide so I could show it. I have it in a text document right now. And I guess what I'll do when we get done here, I'll put a comment underneath with the link, if that works, and then people can download it.
Yeah,
I'm going to have to
put it on the VCP page on my website.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I've ever even been there.
If I could interject, also a way to contact you directly. So if someone inevitably has a need but cannot locate it there, they can contact you and get that from you.
Yeah.
Oh, if they can't get the template, that's a good idea. Because I did put my contact info in the template, but if they can't get to the template, that won't help. Thank you, Roland. Okay. And actually, it will take me a few minutes then to fix up. I'd set up the opt-in page to send you an email with the template attached. But my Get Response told me I couldn't attach that because it's too big.
It's too big.
Even with just 3 slides in it, it was too big. So,
okay.
So I'm going to have to create a download page for the template instead.
Right.
So it'll take me a little bit to do that, but I will go ahead and put the link up there.
So, but if you put it on the in the comment stream on my website.
Okay.
Yeah, that most people will know to go there for it. Right on. So now, Susan, this has been really, really informative. So somebody says if you have a Gmail account, you could paste the files into a folder there and share the link. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So see about that might. I think at that point it might be just as easy for me to put it on my website and people can download
Yeah.
it from there. So
Sure.
I was
Well,
just trying
you
to take the shortcut and it didn't
You
work.
want people to go to your website anyway. That's
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 true.
the point of all of this.
That's true.
So
Yep. Although I haven't set one up yet for the video templates. I had the domain, but I've just been doing most of that through my Facebook page at this point.
right on. So I'm looking at the time. My computer clock says 10:06.
Yep.
So we're running over just a little bit, but I hope everybody has had a chance to ask final questions or make final comments. So if anybody, I'll put that call out. Does anybody have a final question or comment they would like to add before we stop the broadcast? Roland.
Yes. We just need to keep in mind, a lot of times we think of all these facilities as what can we do in a platform, and we can adjust our thinking a bit to say, what is it that the platform is availing to us that where we can take advantage of? So they're not going to be duplicated. So whatever we're used to in one platform, we may not necessarily duplicate that in another. And that's the only bit of wisdom I wanted to add.
Right.
Yeah, that's good, Roland. And one of the things I've been working on now to help, because a lot of people have things created for the YouTube dimensions, right? So they don't want to just make it square. They want to be able to post it on YouTube as well. So I'm making a widescreen version of the templates. So, and then I'll show people how to quickly copy from one to the other. It doesn't reformat automatically. There will be a quick work involved, but not too bad. So, but yeah. And, I just want to say one more thing in terms of, we were talking about SEO a little bit and whether Google will find the videos you place on Facebook. I don't look at these as being high content videos. It's not going to replace the videos you would put on YouTube where you go into depth about your services or your product or whatever. I look at these as an upgrade for your quote graphics or your memes that you've posted on Facebook or Instagram. They're a way to get engagement in social media. They're not necessarily a way to sell a product or service.
No.
Although you could, but because they're short, it's probably not the best way to do that. But they sure get a lot more attention both on my personal profile and on my Facebook page.
And I think that's a really good distinction for us to recognize that what you're doing is strictly for your social media engagement.
Right.
Yeah.
To get a following, and then those people may be interested in learning more.
Right. So Tim.
Yeah, in fact, one of the things Google has been saying, they've done some research and everything, and they're encouraging that even YouTubers that are dedicated to all their efforts is creating YouTube videos, is they're finding that 6-second leader is ideal leading up to a longer format video, even if the longer video is only 3 to 5 minutes. Use the 6-second ticker type video to attract attentions on the social media marks, and also when you're advertising using YouTube as well. So even Google is recognizing that short, quick, grab the attention, redirect is very effective, and something that anyone that is looking to do any type of traffic generation or trying to grab any attention, it's something that you need to seriously consider, whether you're using a PowerPoint slideshow, a Google slideshow, a short, quick video, anything like that. But use that 6-second window as often as you can.
Now, are you talking about 6 seconds at the beginning of a longer video, or just a 6-second video?
Before you even get building up to getting traffic to the new video that's released.
Mhm.
Even
See, I don't know
make
that
these
I've
little
ever seen a
teasers,
6
kind of like
second
movie
video
trailers,
on
basically what you're
on
doing.
YouTube.
Yeah,
Are
they're
people
saying that
posting
they did some
videos?
research on it and doing even with theirs that 6 second trigger leader
Mhm.
makes day and night.
I
If
think
you have an example of one of those, Tim, would you share that in the comments on this episode too?
I'll have to
see
look
that.
for the it's
See,
it's in one of
yeah.
the new Google help for YouTube that they just recently.
Oh yeah,
they've been
share the
talking
links
about
to that.
it through
That'd be
Think
great
Google.
too.
I believe Tim is talking about the 6 second leader going into the average YouTube video to repurpose it as a leader to just get attention in general. So it's possibly using the same information that you've already produced for the normal YouTube video.
Okay.
That's the way
That can
Ron
be a
Spencer
completely
used
different.
to do his. I remember he used to do a little leader first, and then he would stop, and then leave a section, and then he would start again. I remember that.
Mhm.
Yeah. So now, folks.
Yeah, that's one of many effective ways to use that. Yes.
Yeah, we're at 12 minutes after,
Yep.
and we've already lost a couple of people who had other commitments. So just before I close, and I'm going to white box Bill shortly, but I do really want to thank you, Susan. I found this session very informative.
Good.
And useful. So thank you so much. We really appreciate your coming. And do come back again anytime.
I will. When I am not in the middle of editing a video for my job during the day.
Yes, I know life and work do happen outside of what we're doing. So, all right. So, Bill, are we ready? I am about to stop the broadcast in a few minutes, but we could put the sound in at any time now. Thank you everyone for joining. Really, really appreciate everybody's input. And be sure to connect with the members of the Green Room. They all do really wonderful work. So thanks, and see you again next Tuesday. Bye for now.